The Amazon rainforest is home to some of the most deadly creatures on Earth. There are venomous snakes, biting ants, and even killer whales in the Amazon rain. However, there are also many other dangerous animals in this part of the world that not too many people know about. So today we were going to explore 8 of the deadliest creatures that can be found in the Amazon rainforest that you've probably never heard of. We'll start with the bullet ant. This ant is often considered to be one of the most dangerous in the world, as it has a particularly painful bite. If you were to get bitten by one of these ants, then you would experience excruciating pain, and that's not just for a couple of minutes either. The pain would last for up to 24 hours. In fact, scientists who studied the pain caused by different insects ranked the bullet ant as being the most painful insect sting of all. They did this by getting themselves stung by various insects and then ranking them according to how bad the pain was. The bullet ant was by far the worst of all. These little creatures only bite if they feel threatened or scared, but it's best to steer clear of them anyway. That's because their venom contains powerful neurotoxins that can cause muscle spasms, vomiting, and trouble breathing. It's rare for someone to die from a bullet ant sting, but it has happened before. Moving on, let's take a look at the glass frog. There are around 300 species of glass frog that can be found across the world today, but most of them are in the Amazon rain. Although they might look cute, it's best not to get too close to them. That's because they have very poisonous skin. Their poison is so strong that if you were to touch it, it could end your life. It is not entirely clear why they have this poison as they do and seem to use it as a defense mechanism. Instead, it seems to be a byproduct of their diet. Glass frogs eat mainly beetles and other insects which contain toxic compounds. These compounds then build up in the frogs' bodies and make their skin poisonous. Just touching one of these little frogs can be enough to send a human to the hospital. But in some cases, it can even be enough to kill you. Even though they live in the rainforest, they aren't amphibians. This is because they lay eggs instead of giving birth to live young. This makes them more closely related to salamanders than frogs. But despite their name, these little guys don't actually lay glass eggs. Instead, they lay regular eggs like all other amphibians. But now let's take a look at a creature that's even more deadly. We're talking about the cassava ant. This ant is especially scary because it not only has a very painful bite, but it can also spit acid. Yes, you heard that right. This ant can spit acid at its prey or its enemy. But wait, it gets worse. This acid is extremely corrosive and can burn through anything. It doesn't matter if you're a human, an insect, or something else. If this acid comes into contact with you, then you will be burned. People who have been burned by the acid of this ant have described it as feeling like hot lava. These ants only do this when they feel threatened. So if you leave them alone, then they won't bother you. But if you try to pick one of these ants up, then you'll be in for a nasty surprise. And don't think about crushing it either. That will only make things worse, as this will agitate the ants and cause it to spit more acid. Next up on our list, we have the golden poison frog. As you can probably guess from its name, this tiny frog is extremely poisonous. It's known for having the most poison of any poison dart frog, which means that it's one of the most poisonous creatures on the planet. These frogs produce a poison called batrachotoxin, which can paralyze and then kill its victims. Even a small amount of this poison is enough to kill 10 grown men. Because of this, native people in Colombia have long used these frogs to tip their blowgun darts with poison. But although they're extremely poisonous, they aren't aggressive towards humans. In fact, they won't even try to run away if you approach them. Instead, they simply sit there while you slowly walk towards them. Now, let's take a look at the vampire crab. You might think that vampires are just make-believe creatures that are only found in books and movies, but believe it or not, there's a vampire living in the Amazon. This vampire crab got its name because it sucks the blood of its prey. It does this by using its large claws to cut open the skin of its victim, and then it drinks the blood that comes out. Most of the time, its victims are fish, but it will also attack other animals, including dogs. Sometimes these crabs even attack humans. When a vampire crab attacks a person, it can be very serious. Not only does it cut open your skin with its large claws, but it also leaves you with a nasty infection. These infections can lead to eye and ear problems, as well as wounds that never seem to heal. Even though these crabs live in fresh water, they don't need water to survive. This means that if one of these crabs manages to latch onto you, then you're in big trouble, regardless of whether you're in the rainforest or somewhere else. Moving on, let's take a look at the blue-ringed octopus. This octopus is arguably the most venomous creature in the entire world. Just a couple of its suckers touching your skin is enough to kill you, and its venom can take your life in less than 5 minutes. They have such venomous saliva because they use it to capture their prey. If you didn't know already, blue-ringed octopus eat other octopuses, fish, and eels. But despite being such a vicious predator, they are actually quite small. They rarely grow bigger than a golf ball, which is why you should always wear protective gear when you're diving in the Amazon River. Blue-ringed octopus usually bite divers and swimmers who aren't paying attention, and then they release a paralyzing venom into you. This venom can be fatal to humans, but it can also be fatal to other animals. For example, a bird might pick up a blue-ringed octopus and eat it, and then that bird could pass away due to the venom. But now let's take a look at the Guiana shield. This little creature might look cute, but it's actually one of the most venomous lizards in the world. In fact, just one of its bites is enough to take your life. Guyanese shields are often spotted in trees where they eat other insects and small reptiles. They tend to stay hidden during the day and come out at night when it's darker. Even though they are only small, growing to a maximum size of 14 inches, they are extremely fierce. They will attack anyone or anything that comes within striking distance, and they do this by biting them and then spitting venom into their wound. The venom of these lizards is incredibly toxic and contains enough venom to kill 5 grown men. Thankfully, they don't really attack humans unless they feel threatened or scared. Finally, let's take a look at the black caiman. Caimans are usually green, but the black caiman is different. This rare caiman is mostly black in color, although it does have some green undertones. Its eyes are also a golden color, which gives it a fierce appearance. These caimans tend to live in swamps and lakes where they patiently wait for their prey to come near them. Then they snatch their prey with their giant jaws and drag it down into the water. They do this with turtles, monkeys, deer, and even jaguars. But what makes these caimans especially terrifying is the fact that they are excellent swimmers. Most caimans can only move awkwardly in the water, but the black caiman is different. These caimans move with grace and power through the water, which allows them to catch prey that other predators can't. They are also incredibly strong and have been known to attack humans before. Black caimans usually only go after humans if they feel threatened. But if a mother black caiman sees a human anywhere near her nest, then she will definitely attack. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below which of these creatures was the most scary. If you want to see short videos, then check out the Shorts channel. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel